100%.
Dale, I'm wondering if you or your dad have ever been in situations where you felt uncomfortable, like you felt pressure, you felt like someone was maybe being untoward towards you because of your race in a hunting scenario.
This episode of DoD TV is brought to you by Phorm, the foundation of high performance nutrition. Join the Legion of Boom today.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Drury Outdoors 100% Wild Podcast. I'm Tim Chelsvik.
I'm Matt Drury, and we got a couple special guests today.
Yeah, this is a spur-of-the-moment podcast. You and I were going to hop on and talk about Glenn Campbell, mostly.
Oh,
and then
okay.
Jake Arvold called me up, or he texted me and was like, hey, we got the runner-up of the New Year's Transformation Challenge from First Phorm, Dale Beatty. And he's a hunter, and we should have a conversation. So Jake's here from First Phorm. Dale's here from First Phorm.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. Rock and roll.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, so this is not Jake's first time, but it is your first time.
This is my first time.
So you're the kind of the connection to all this. So obviously First Phorm, we've talked about it before. Jake's been on the podcast. You know, it's the fitness industry side, but Jake's a hunter, and the connection with you, Dale, is that you're obviously a hunter as well, and you hunt here in Missouri, duck hunt in Missouri, down in Kenton. Yeah, Kenton, you said, and then turkey hunter, deer hunter. So like you're neck deep into the passion that we all have, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. So the real cool part about this, as far as why you're in St. Louis, you were a part of this transformation challenge that First Phorm runs a few times a year, right?
Yep.
And so how this, like, what was the culmination of you coming here to HQ and touring that and doing the interviews and doing all the stuff here? Why were you invited up?
So I was invited up because I was runner up in the New Year Spring Sprint, my transformation challenge, and won $10,000, which is pretty cool.
He's taking us out to dinner.
Yeah, we know who buys the drinks.
We're going to Red Lobster.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, obviously, use that money on some hunting gear. So my wife may be a little upset with me here in a couple of months, but I mean,
it's all right.
It's extra
meat
money.
Meat in the freezer. It all comes around.
Yeah, exactly.
Expensive meat in the freezer.
Exactly.
It's the worst excuse any hunter
Shut up,
man.
All right.
Well, there's no wives that listen to this, so I'm not letting anybody in on a secret.
That's true.
Friends here. So the whole argument that hey, I'm providing for us, it's like it cost me like $4,000 to put this thing in the
cheaper
freezer.
to hit it with your truck.
Yeah.
Especially waterfowl.
Yeah.
Especially waterfowl. But came here, got to tour headquarters yesterday and today and meet everybody, meet the team, and made some great relationships, some great friendships, and I mean, it's just an honor to be here, sitting with you guys and meeting everybody over there at First Phorm. I mean, it's just surreal at this.
Which
moment.
is more of an honor for you?
Maybe if Mark and Terry were actually here, but this is almost
the real jury.
This is almost a dishonor.
Wait, I thought this was the Drury Outdoors podcast.
Yeah.
Where's Mark and Terry at?
We're used to it.
We have a couple cardboard cutouts. We could
bring them in.
Yeah. Stick them right here in the middle.
So Tim and I are familiar with what the Transformation Challenge is and how hard it is, and tell us what you did or what made you stand out in order to be a runner-up in this thing, because this is no easy task.
No. Yeah. I mean, the challenge itself is 8 weeks long, and I have started a program called 75 Hard that Andy Frisella talks about, all the time. And I tried it back in 2019, and I made it 16 days. And what 75 Hard is it's 75 days straight of 2 45-minute workouts, one indoor, one must be outdoor. Mm-hmm. Drink a gallon of water a day, read 10 pages of a nonfiction book, self-development, stick to a diet, no cheat meals, no alcohol. Mm-hmm. And
as Andy says, it's more of a mental challenge.
It's more of a mental challenge than a fitness challenge. And that's what I did it for, was for the mental, benefits from the challenge itself. But I needed an app to help track my food for my diet, and downloaded the First Phorm app. And that's right when they came out with the New Year challenge. And I used the app, uploaded my pictures, talked with my advisor. He gave me a plan. I stuck to the plan. And I think what really did it for me was that second workout, that second 45-minute workout. I started out running or walking in the beginning and then progressed my way to being able to run for a full 45 minutes. And the weight just disappeared.
Dude, your before and after picture is nuts. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
I mean,
I think he did that thing where he leaned up against a chain link fence.
Exactly.
I just got the imprint.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing, Dale? Shut up, I'm doing something.
spray paint something.
It's really good lighting.
That's a good idea.
It's amazing what they can do with spray tan.
Absolutely.
I think it's something like not to be overlooked too, but tying in the transformation challenge, tracking your macros, staying consistent with workouts, but you add in like that 75 hard piece to it is it's not that the tasks in there are challenging by themselves, but it's really just the consistency, right? And staying consistent over periods of time.
So Jake also completed this in the past, maybe was it a month ago or so that you finished up?
Yep.
So we got a couple guys that are veterans here of the challenge.
Well, and that's, I know Tim's going to definitely do it. You're probably going to do it online.
I'll do it as soon as Matt starts.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Hey, I like the challenge. You got to have the accountability there. Exactly.
Perfect.
See, this is how you do it. So you said you're doing it, right?
Somehow Tim is not on the next podcast.
All right.
That's how it begins.
That's how it goes.
So ultimately, we're going to end up talking about race. Like that's kind of the core of this show. But it is important to kind of set the stage.
No,
we're talking about running and stuff. We're going to talk about like Alan asked earlier, like, so you guys are talking about race, and he's like pointing at his skin, like, like that race.
Yeah.
Not marathon race, but race.
Yeah, permatan.
Absolutely.
We should probably get to our shout outs first, because there are people that listen to our show that.
Are there?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take the first one.
Thanks, Matt.
All right.
We do this every week.
Mark Huntstein. Is that his real name? Huntstein?
It's real. And then Johnny McKilladeer is real also.
All right. So DeerCast, he says, this is the Waddell podcast. So I'm sure know Michael Waddell, who he is, right? In the industry.
I've heard of him.
Bone collector as well.
Yes,
so he's our poster child for the outdoors. And we had him on the podcast a couple weeks ago. So this guy says, what a great podcast to sit and watch on a rainy Saturday morning. Remember watching Michael's first hunt on Monster Bucks. We both turned a little gray since then, but our love for the outdoors stays the same. I saw somebody else that commented on that podcast that they watched it twice. I was like, all right, now that's getting a little out of hand.
Both with the volume off.
I mean, it was like an hour long. Come on. Who's got this much time? Was that you? Did you
Rainy day in the
comment on that
stand.
one?
I'm not above it. Randy Haroof from YouTube was watching the Steve Stoltz podcast from a couple weeks ago. It says, cool stuff. All hunters must be the same with giving your buddies hell about anything. Ha, 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 ha.
Is it ha, 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 ha? You did one too many.
Sorry. I'll start the whole thing. Let's start the whole show. I watched these old guys back in the day and learned a lot. Thanks.
He must be talking about Terry. He's talking about old.
It's funny, like the stories those guys have and what they've and like
most of them they can't share in the podcast.
Well, Steve started to get into some territory at the end of that show where it was like, ugh.
We literally cut some of Steve's stuff out.
Kind of have to.
I was telling Dad about it. He's like, "You cut that, right?" I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
He knows where the bodies are buried.
yeah."
So when we were talking about this show, we're like, it'd be great to talk with Dale about how do we increase minority involvement in hunting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because ultimately we've done a podcast like this before, but ultimately the issue, and I said it before we jumped on the podcast, our numbers are declining at such rapid paces. The number of licenses every year,
Yep.
it used to be when I first started here 17 years ago. I swear the number that used to be thrown around was like, there's about 20 million hunters. Now it's like
12, 13.
I think that's on the high side too. It's like 10, 11, 12. It just keeps going down. And the thing that they talk a lot about is youth involvement and getting females involved, but you do not hear a lot about getting other ethnicities involved. Easy for me to say. Yeah. And so it's like, all right, there's a big diverse population in the country. Where's the disconnect between primarily what you see anyways from all the TV shows, like the Outdoor Channel, Sportsman's Channel? What you see is just a lot of white guys hunting.
Yeah.
So where's the disconnect? Is it that it's not popular in minorities communities, or is it that we're just not seeing the representation?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, it could be, I mean, maybe a mixture of both, in my opinion. It's really not seen out there in the, African-American community. And, I mean, I picked up hunting from my dad, who picked it up from his dad. And, obviously it's been passed down generation after generation, but I think it's a mixture of both, in my opinion, honestly.
So, there's a show called Halo Hunting. It's a couple down in Mississippi, aren't they? I believe.
I'm not positive.
Are you familiar with them? Yeah. And then there's a guy I follow up in Minnesota that I met at a consumer event, DJ. And so literally like handful of people, and that's all I can name. And that's, to me, it's like, all right, I know there's obviously more black people that hunt, and absolutely. I'm sure plenty of, Latin Americans or Asians, or like, so where's the disconnect? Why don't we see more of that representation? Yeah. I don't know what the answer is, but
so Dale is here.
I try to, I try to share as much through if you go through my social media right now, it's majority hunting, and I've attempted to start a YouTube channel. I'll just have one video up there right now, Dale Beatty Outdoors, if you want to go check it out. But
hey,
we'll link it up in the show notes.
But just trying to get that exposure out there and show everyone that, I'm just a normal guy, regardless of the color of my skin, that just enjoys to hunt. And, if you need someone to come hunt with you or want someone to come hunt with you, contact me. Let me know. I'd love to come hunt with you and, expose you and teach you and, everything that I've learned over the years.
So where you're hunting at, not specifically saying where do you hunt, but where you're hunting at. So predominantly, are you seeing a lot of other black people hunting? Is it mostly white guys?
It's mostly white guys. I hunt on private lease in Kentucky. So, and then even when I duck hunt here in Missouri.
How many acres is your lease?
Only 57.
Well, that's going to take you up on your offer.
They got that early season.
All the help.
They got that season down there.
Yeah. I've actually found one a couple years ago. Don't know how he died, but he 13 pointer full velvet with a drop tine.
Is that on your Instagram page?
Yeah, it's on my Instagram page.
What's your Instagram handle?
D Beatty, Beatty 11. So D Beatty 11.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, it's a dandy.
That's awesome. Well, I think, he's like, I'm looking this up. Well, I think just to go off of that, it really does, I feel like, fall into like the heritage side of things. Just like you said, like your dad brought you into it, his dad before him. Maybe there was like a disconnect, or maybe it wasn't like, back then it wasn't something that was as much sought after, right? Absolutely. From older generations, which I think definitely, what you're doing, right? What you're going out and doing. That's awesome.
Here it is. I pulled it up.
Yeah.
Big boy.
That's a monster. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But that's, looking at that, I think it's very important just for like newer generations, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Regardless of the color of your skin, like going through and leading from the forefront, right? And I know we talked a little bit about this too, is like, being a younger guy yourself, going through, being a dad, like creating that lifestyle, right? And ultimately bringing your kids' generations to come up and teaching them along the way. I think it's a very important thing.
Absolutely.
So how many kids do you have?
I have a stepdaughter.
Okay. So are you, that's a tough thing. Like I have a daughter, I have a son.
Yeah.
I find it way easy to bring my son along with me. He's older.
I've struggled bringing Cassie along with me.
And I keep wondering, and Tim's got a daughter and a son. The daughter's older, and you bring her, she's killed stuff. And you guys have had a great bond around it. But I find myself like, I'm like, all right, my son's 6, my daughter's 4. He's a little bit easier. He's a little bit more well-behaved than my daughter. He sits there silently. And so I just wonder, like, how am I going to introduce her? I know this is going to be a hurdle I got to figure out, but like, how are you planning on trying to introduce her? Does she even have an interest in it?
I wish she had an interest in youth turkey season, so we get out there a little bit earlier. But
Dad wants to hunt.
Yeah, but
played that game.
Yep.
express interest here and there. But again, I'm not going to force it on her, let her come around to it in her own time. And, whenever she's ready, she'll say something to me and, I'll be more than happy to take her out there.
How old is she?
She's 13.
Okay. So she's definitely at the age where she'll tell you if she wants to go.
Or doesn't want to.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I think it's important to bring up, just kind of like when we were talking a little bit earlier about, is like when you first got introduced to turkey hunting, like you weren't necessarily all gun ho about going out and doing it.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, I guess kind of explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, it took my dad had been turkey hunting for about 7 or 8 years previously to him taking me the first time. He always asked me to go, and I just had no interest in it. I was like, nah, not really. And then all of a sudden one day he asked me, and I was like, screw it, why not?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Right. And of course, go out that first hunt and kill one. And 2 weeks later, kill another one. And
he was lottery jackpot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And he was just like, son, what you just did was absolutely, that does not happen. And obviously I've seen over the years that does not happen.
Yeah. Definitely hadn't happened for us this year.
Yeah. But I mean, I was hooked after that point. So it was.
So how did your dad get into hunting?
A friend of his, his dad, but then also a friend of his took him turkey hunting.
Okay.
And he didn't get one for the first 4 or 5 years, but he kept on going.
Ditto.
Kept on going. Yeah.
I feel like turkey hunting is an easier way to introduce people into the sport because it's more social,
more interactive.
You're moving around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Say you hear something gobbling.
Weather's a little nicer too.
Weather's nicer. It's just, I don't know. Here in Missouri, like the season ends every day at 1. So maybe there's time for a cocktail in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Like it just, I don't know. It just seems like it's a little more fun.
Yeah.
And so anytime I think of, hey, if I'm going to introduce somebody new, turkey hunting would be the way to go because deer hunting can be a real slow, boring thing.
Yeah.
Now, some of the spots that we're fortunate to get to go, you might see quite a few deer. So that might trigger something with somebody. If they're first time going, they see 5 or 6 does or whatever, you know what I mean? And so I think about that too. If you were going to take somebody, you better check DeerCast, make sure it's a great day and go when you have your best odds. You don't want to go and it's going to be a crappy day out and they're not going to see anything. And it might be like, this experience is kind of boring. Like, why am I out here? This is 3-4 hours of my day.
Right.
Why am I doing this?
That's not quite a bit.
Right. So, well, I think that's a good, go ahead.
I was going to say, at the end of the day, for African Americans to get out there, minorities to get out there, it's just, I think it's just exposure, platforms like this, talking about it, speaking about it. I'm a real person, real African American that loves hunting, and have a passion for fitness as well. So it's just exposure.
I think it is an important piece, just even like tools like DeerCast, right? Like to be able to go through and utilize something like that to where it's like, it's educational. It gives you the tools. Cause a lot of times, especially even individuals who are maybe, later in their years, right? Like I don't see a lot of people who ultimately go through and start hunting after 25, 30, something like that. Or like they need someone to introduce them to it. And because it's a lack of knowledge, experience, where to hunt.
I was going to say a lack of where to go.
Man. Dude, that's
a
when
big issue.
When I moved down here, like that was a big thing for me is like, okay, grew up having, a farm or just go down the dirt road to hunt the back 40. Well, here it's like, all right, where can I hunt? What rules? I don't want to be breaking any rules. Like it was a whole new learning experience. Right. So I think that's very important.
It's being close to a metropolitan area like St. Louis, it's hard to find a spot because there are a lot of people that the first thing they're doing is saying, I want to be within an hour and a half of the city, or the suburbs where I live. And well, that's everybody. Yeah. So when a lease comes up, it's sure as hell hard to find a knock on door situation, which is how Tim primarily gets his spots. Yep. But then to go a step further, say you want to find a lease, man, when somebody gets a lease, they'll seem to lock it up and they don't let go because it's hard. They don't come up very often, right. So I think as hunters, one of the biggest issues with introducing new people is we talk about it, but basically you got to invite somebody to your spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
otherwise, like, where are they going to go? It's all great to say, hey, you should hunt. Right. Here's an app to help you. But it's like, okay, where the hell do I go? It's not that hard to find the gear, get the gear. You don't even need to have the best gear. get a weapon.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't take the fanciest camo. It just doesn't.
No.
But it takes a spot.
Takes a spot. Takes a spot and some patience.
Yeah.
A lot of patience.
A lot of patience.
Yeah. 100%.
Dale, I'm wondering if you or your dad have ever been in situations where you felt uncomfortable, like you felt pressure, you felt like someone was maybe being untoward towards you because of your race in a hunting scenario.
I would say absolutely not. I get more of that exposure down at duck camp, and I'm treated like family down there with all the different outfitters.
The way it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
All the different outfitters we made friends with over the years down there. I don't know if I'm allowed to or not, but Foul Lifestyle Outfitters, shout out.
Sure.
Tyler Helton. Sorry, but
maybe they'll be our new waterfowl sponsor for the show.
We don't do much waterfowl.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There's time for everything.
But no, I mean, just feel like family. Never had that happen. And I think that's just the hunting community itself.
Right.
We're out there with a common purpose. We all love to hunt.
100%.
It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It just, we have a passion for hunting and harvesting some ammo. So
love the outdoors.
Yeah.
There's a general sense of camaraderie.
Absolutely.
It's almost like a team sport kind of. I mean,
100%.
that would be my correlation to it. Is it's almost like that feeling of being on a team with somebody. You see another hunter, it's like, unless it's your neighbor. That's the only time that it doesn't seem like a team sport. It's more like that's the other team.
Yeah, that's the other team you're competing directly with.
But outside of that, you know that if you go somewhere and this guy's a hunter, you find out this guy's a hunter, all of a sudden you start comparing deer pictures or trail camera photos or whatever. It's like there's a camaraderie there.
Immediately. That's the first thing. Phones come out. Hey, look at this one. Look at this one. Yeah. So.
I was on my honeymoon in Cancun. This is the craziest story. And so we were at the pool. My wife and I were at the pool and end up meeting another couple. And the guy used to work at Cabela's in Sydney, Nebraska.
Headquarters.
Yeah. Like crazy, like just random deal.
Yeah.
And we just start shooting a breeze about deer hunting, and we spent the entire.
I'm busy. I got something.
We spent a lot of time talking about hunting. It's like it's no matter where you go,
what else are you gonna do on your honeymoon?
Find a person that can talk hunting. You're in.
I think that's a huge thing that I think kind of gets almost like overlooked to where you go into these different spots. Something I've even noticed just hunting a lot of the different public land down here is, don't be afraid to introduce yourself, right? Like actually talk with different individuals. I'd meet at the trailhead anytime I was down there, saw someone, like, instead of just being like, oh, where's this guy going kind of thing, I'd always be like, hey, I would ask, like, which way are you going? Because I don't want to be someone who's walking through the woods on top of someone else. If they have a spot. Like, it's being respectful towards the other individuals and actually realizing we have this place to be able to go out and experience the outdoors, and not like we don't have to be in that competition mode there, but actually enjoy it together. Right.
I think another aspect of your scenario there would be that you never know on a public piece like that if that may be their first time hunting, or they may need a little bit of guidance or help, or you know what I mean? And them potentially messing up the spot you were going might have been out of just, they didn't know, you know what I mean? Or didn't know the kind of P's and Q's of public land hunting, you know?
And I think it's important to know, to think about, okay, what is the bigger purpose to it? I think when I go out to a trailhead like that, like I'd met a gentleman out there just a week before even turkey season came down, find out he goes to Logan College of Chiropractic, same place my dad went to, grandpa went to, everything. And we just started talking. We probably talked for a solid 15 minutes, and I wasn't there for opening weekend. Right. Well, I'm going to be out of town for when he's hunting. So I just said, hey, there were some toms up on the ridge back there. Said, good luck, like rock it out. Like I tried to help him, and this is his first time hunting.
And you just slashed his tires.
He's like, yeah, exactly. I got out of there before he did it to mine. But you think about it, it's like I wanted
birds are up there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll see you
birds
never
are
again.
Over there. Yeah, exactly. So that's, doing little things like that, to where that was his first time out there. He was scouting for different areas, looking around. Like, I think it's getting out of your own way and realizing that there's a bigger picture to it.
100%. Right. Speaking of bigger picture, how about our question of the day?
Let's do it. Question of the
Let's
day
do
is
it.
proudly brought to you by HHA Sports. With over 30 years of experience in the archery industry, they are the leader in single pin technology.
And we just published an article on DeerCast about an archery setup for hunting turkeys. And Blake Leffler was the source. He was the subject matter expert for it. And I have to agree.
Dream Season Live guy.
Yes. He suggests a single pin sight for turkey hunting because the kills, the vitals are so small on a turkey. You don't want a cluttered up sight picture
For you weirdos that are archery hunting turkeys.
Yeah, who does that? Stupid.
Yeah.
All right, yeah,
Exactly. There's
Dale.
3-1.
Yeah, man.
How many did you guys kill this year so far?
Let's not get caught up in details. Slow down.
I had a gun.
You're stepping on the sponsor, HHA Sports.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying they have a bad product. I'm just saying I can't get one in gun range, much less bow range.
turkeys suck. We can all agree on that.
All right.
But he did suggest doing the single pin sight for turkey hunting because it's just a lot cleaner of a sight picture.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right.
Good tip. All right. So let's hear the question from Jeremy.
Hey, this is Jeremy Kerber from St. Louis, Missouri. And my question is, there's no doubt that you are in top physical condition. And it's evident in your social media feeds that, your endurance events are legendary. What do you say, though, to the individual who sees you and thinks to themselves, well, I'm never going to be in that kind of shape, so there's really no point? What kind of encouragement would you give the individual who's just starting to improve their fitness that it's okay if you don't go out and run 15 miles?
There's a lot to unpack there because, first of all, I know this guy. He's
Okay.
Tim's friend.
Okay.
And so all
Not
the
a good
first,
friend.
all the first part of it was him facetiously making fun of Tim.
So I have a confession to make. I'm not a good person.
That's
not
a fact. I haven't known him
Okay.
for too long.
So the confession's coming. That was a question intended for Cam Haynes a couple years ago.
Cam was supposed to come on the podcast, and we ended up not being able to. It was scheduling conflict that happened, but
I think we got a little too big for him.
that was it.
That's it.
But so
Because Jeremy does fitness work. Like he has Fit to Hunt. He does coaching and stuff.
yeah.
So that's why I'm not a good person.
So that's the first part of this,
Repurposed.
but I think he was making fun of Tim mostly. Second part is he is right in the basic form of his question is, all right.
Bring it around.
That's right. I'm the host. So
Good job.
all right. So how do you convince somebody? I've seen this with family members and friends. It's like, man, I felt this way 5 years ago. It's like, all right, I don't have the genetics to be that. Like, where do we? I don't even want to start. Like, I can't do that. So how do you get over that hump?
You just begin. I mean, if you all saw my day one picture. Like I wasn't in shape at all, wasn't in the best shape at all, but you just start and give it. I really wasn't until I mean, I am now. But you just start, left foot, right foot, just get started. It's not being like, we're not out here to be picture perfect, No one out here is going to be absolutely perfect physically, but we can work on our mental state and take a day at a time. But you have to begin somewhere, So
to me, that's the biggest thing that I've learned hanging out with the guys at First Phorm. So it's more mental than physical.
Correct.
First of all, you get over that hump, and you can do a lot. And that's what I've learned in general. Is it's built more mental toughness than anything. So that's one part of it.
It's the same way with hunting though too. You have to have mental toughness.
That's right.
Right.
But the other part of it that also correlates to hunting, you have to do the work, which is kind of you guys' slogan, right? You got to put in the time,
put in the time,
effort. Nobody's going to just
Legion
give it
of
to
work.
you.
Absolutely.
So those two things, right?
Right. I mean, it really does. It really comes down to consistency. I mean, everything that's yielded the results that you've gotten. And if you look at, whether it's Cam or anyone out there who's achieved anything great and worthwhile, it didn't happen overnight.
Correct.
Right. Like it comes down to them going through. And I would bet that whether it's Cam, I know it's you, myself, you set different goals for yourself. You have this, this picture of where you want to go, right? Well, it's like, okay, well, I want to get to the top of the mountain. But if you look at the mountain and that's where you're looking every single day, it looks 100 miles away.
Correct.
Right. what you need to focus on is the footsteps you take right in front of yourself.
Put your head down and go.
Hood down and just go one step at a time. Next thing you know, you're looking over the other side of the mountain.
Yeah.
And that's
Cam didn't start out running 50 miles a day, day one.
right.
You know, you work your way up to it. I didn't start out running for 45 minutes straight. I couldn't. Physically, I could not do it. But every single day, just get a little bit better. You just got to keep trying.
Yep.
So,
anything to add there, Tim?
No, I mean, you guys took all my answers.
Anything to help
job.
prevent you from talking more?
Yeah. Perfect.
For some reason, Tim's mic channel is cut out of this podcast.
Yeah. It actually hasn't been
Weird.
working the entire time.
Well, now would be a really good time to cut it if we're going to cut it. It's the wildlife word segment.
I'm really excited about it.
It's brought to you by Tracker Off-Road, made with the know-how of American workers, built for those who love the outdoors.
I actually am getting ready to pick up the new EV unit.
Sweet.
It's over at Bass Pro.
EV means electric vehicle.
I guess. I know that it runs on batteries.
sure.
Where do I put the gas at?
Yeah. So that's a turkey killing machine. Or frankly, honestly, it's like deer killing, turkey killing. You want something quiet
and no emissions. Like just being able to get in the woods without like
Smelling like gas.
carbon monoxide or whatever. That would be nice.
That's the one thing, paying attention to Mark and Terry and how they handle their properties. And I, obviously this isn't, for everybody, but like the e-bikes or regular bicycle or whatever, Rogue Ridge we have that Rogue Ridge around here somewhere. It's pretty bad to the bone, but is being silent. And if you sit in your stand and during deer season, you're sitting there and you hear the neighbor on the 4-wheeler.
Oh, yeah.
You think about it. You always hear where they go.
Oh, yeah.
The animals hear the same thing. So it's like, all right, he stopped somewhere over here. Whatever this was, stopped here.
Over there.
Not going that way.
Yeah. That way. Yep,
So,
exactly.
It's just something to think about.
It's like all of a sudden when you're going back out, you see the big bucks tracks walking across where you came in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely had that. But
You gotcha.
All right. So what's the wildlife word today?
So Native Americans used wild turkey feathers for this purpose. It's multiple choice.
Okay.
A, to tickle each other at night. B,
Sounds fun.
to fashion them into toothbrushes. C, make tiny rudimentary model airplanes. Or D, fletchings for arrows.
We try to make it dummy proof.
I was going to say.
So which dummy wants to go first?
D.
There you go.
All right.
Definitely A.
Full
right?
disclosure, I've missed quite a few of these wildlife words over the years. The real dummy is this guy.
Well, the good news is you guys both win first form ball caps
Perfect.
in camouflage.
Perfect.
So-
Excellent.
Hey, you got
I
one.
love it. Hey, there we go. Rock and roll. We're good to go.
hey.
I know this was not even planned at all.
No, not at all.
It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, I know. It is. What it is.
Anytime that, you got a couple hunters, you're going to gravitate to whatever is camo.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time.
So Dale, people can follow you on Instagram, right?
Yeah,
And your budding
absolutely.
YouTube channel.
Yeah. Dale Beatty Outdoors and Instagram, D Beatty, Beatty 11.
You better start adding some more videos, bro, on the YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah. I have my wife edit the video, so I'm not very good at that. So we'll have to get back on board with that.
You know what, man? They're making it easier and easier, though, for like on your iPhone to do stuff like that. It's
Right,
crazy
right.
what
Yeah.
iMovie you can do.
Yeah.
Now, like that's my background is editing, so it's kind of frustrating because all the stuff I'd like to do, it takes 5 times as long on that program. But
Sure.
for someone that's never edited, it's an easy like entry level way to jump into it.
Yeah.
We do a lot of our like the DeerCast nows, the kind of semi-live
The rough
hunts
cuts.
the rough cuts that go up on DeerCast. That's what the team uses, the whole team. And, they're just cutting them together real rough and putting them up there. So
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Jake
All right.
Arvold,
Yep.
thanks for stopping by.
Hey,
Thanks for
dude, I'm
suggesting
glad-
the show.
Yeah.
We'll hit Glenn Campbell next time.
Yeah.
There you go.
Something like that.
Galveston, oh, Galveston.
No, nobody's saying that.
No,
Nobody wants
no,
that.
no, yeah.
Just you. Please
Dale,
stop.
Dale hasn't said
Tickling
no.
yourself with feathers.
He hadn't said yes.
That's right.
He's bewildered at what the hell you're doing. This is a podcast?
Something.
It's true.
But
On that
right.
great note.
Yeah.
We should probably shut her down.
awesome.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks
you
for
guys
stopping
having
by,
us
guys.
out.
No, thank you. Nice meeting you
Appreciate
guys.
meeting you guys,
It's been
man.
an honor.
Good luck in the woods.
Absolutely. You as well.
All right.
Awesome.
Till next time. Peace out.
DeerCast is giving you the chance to hunt with Mark and Terry Drury. Head over to DeerCast.com to enter.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.